Oh boy, it's the O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting app or right there on YouTube. It's all right there for you. What's up, everybody? Today's topic is Big E. I hope Big E never wrestles again. Where do you land on that? Let me know in the comments. Now, the reason I say that is because apparently TMZ caught up with Big E and they asked him how his neck surgery was going, and he said, the bone is fused and he just wants to make the right decision for him depending, about whether or not he's going to wrestle again. And I yelled, no, never do it again. Please stop it. We don't need you to come back. And that is not in any way not a blight, but it's not any way of like putting Big E down. If anything, it's because I have nothing but admiration and respect for Big E, and I never want him to get hurt again. I want Big E to go out on top as one of the best wrestlers to do it for a very short period of time. A man burned bright, burned hot, and he didn't burn out, which is the best part. He got injured, which was awful, and it was a very strong, very scary injury. Broken neck. You can't mess with a broken neck, right? Stone Cold had a broken neck, messed his whole life up, but he came back, right? But I mean, still, that was a crapshoot. Big E is healed, and I want him to stay that way, honestly. Big E's had a career that most wrestlers and most black wrestlers can't say that they had. He was world champ. He's multiple time tag team champion. He was intercontinental champion. I think he had the U.S. title. I don't remember. Didn't he have the U.S. title and he was wrestling Apollo Crews for it in 2020, I think? No, that was the IC title. So he's won multiple titles. He's won the tag champs a bunch of times. He's hosted WrestleMania. He's main evented many pay-per-views. Him and the New Day are definitely going down in the Hall of Fame. Big E should go down in the Hall of Fame on his own for the very short time that he was doing what he was doing. I don't want to see him get hurt again, right? And my thing is, what is there left for him to do, right? He won the title. He's been world champ, beloved by fans. I mean, the man has done it all. He's done it all. I guess you could say, I want to win the Royal Rumble or something, but I mean, how many people can claim that they've won the Royal Rumble? Not many. And honestly, I don't know if that's a goal anyone really needs to strive for. I think the Royal Rumble, you have to have a really good showing. And the Royal Rumble should be a place to start stories for WrestleMania. So winning it is, the big prize. That's what the main event is. But just being in the Rumble and having a good time and kind of maybe kicking off something that's going to lead you to WrestleMania would be beneficial. But yeah, I know that there's a lot in professional wrestling that Big E can still do, but I want Big E to do other things. He's an incredible personality. I mean, the man has a positivity about him that is unmatched by most folks. He's always smiling, always laughing. He's funny. He's engaging. The man can host a game show. The man could host a popular podcast. I would love a wrestling podcast from just Big E, not the New Day podcast, which they stopped doing, which is a shame because it was good. But just a show, a wrestling show by Big E. That would be incredible. He can do anything, is what I'm saying, and not injure his neck again, right? And I don't know, maybe it's selfish of me to say, I hope he never wrestles again. But I really do. I don't want him to put himself in that position to potentially get hurt again, right? Wrestling is chaos. It's a fantastical carnival of misfits, and it's dangerous. And you never know what could happen, right? Draws is a great example of you never know what could happen. Owen Hart, you never know what could happen. And I'm not wishing anything like that on anybody. As a matter of fact, I wish nothing like that ever happens to another professional wrestler again. but Big E is a success story in that you never know what's going to happen. Just a random move in a Friday Night SmackDown put him on the shelf, right? And he was blessed to recover and be okay and have his faculties and have his health, and he's able to walk and do everything, right? He's back, not to normal, but he's back, right? And I remember he used to post on social media when he was recovering, he would be walking, doing his daily walks with his neck brace, and it's like, dude was on the mend and he was still walking. It was a blessing, right? And now that I don't know if he's fully healed, but now that he's healed, I want him to do something else. That's not to say that I don't want him in WWE. I feel like if he came back to WWE, that would be incredible. You could put him at the desk. You can make him a trainer. You could make him, he needs to be on screen. Let's get that out the way. Don't be a trainer. He needs to be on screen. He could be a Raw GM. He can be a SmackDown GM. He can be he could be the NXT GM. How about that? That'd be incredible. You need an authority figure on there. Big E would be incredible. The same way they had Samoa Joe come in before they released him a couple years ago and be kind of like that GM enforcer kind of guy. I feel like Big E can bring that joyous, like carefree booking to NXT. That would be really fun. Like, he's giving back to them, and it would be very great interplay between him and any heels on the show where they're like, I want this match and that, and Big E's just laughing at them and saying, I do what I want, I'm Big E. Whatever. I think that would be an incredible role for him. And it keeps him in the business. It keeps him on TV. It brings in ratings. It makes people happy. And he doesn't have to take bumps and get all banged up and beat up. That's where I stand on Big E. I don't know him, but his personality, his online personality, his TV personality is one that I truly like and appreciate. And I wish nothing but the best for him. And whatever decision he makes, it's his life. He can do whatever he wants. And if he gets to the point where he's capable of wrestling and he's confident in taking those bumps and getting back in the ring, more power to him, who am I to say that he can't do it? Personally, I would love it if he just burnt bright and hot, but not out, and just showed up on TV and saying, I'm doing this now. I've transitioned. I'm not in the ring anymore. And then maybe in a couple years, he can take 1 or 2 bumps, or he can be a special guest entrant in the Royal Rumble and get tossed out, or whatever. He can still do things, but a weekly schedule, I don't know if that's necessary anymore. My man did amazing feats. Did anyone think Big E was going to win the world title? I didn't. My man cashed in successfully, cashed in that briefcase on Raw, and he got that title. That's amazing. Two-thirds of the New Day won the big belt. That's incredible. It's also funny to look back on the New Day and think about how banged up all of them are. They've put their bodies on the line for us. Well, they all do, but I'm just thinking of the New Day specifically, and Big E. Kofi's had his ankle all shattered up. Xavier Woods is always banged up. My man is a trooper. That guy comes back from injuries like every other week, stronger. And Big E, I mean, he's out there. The New Day is still out there on like the Drew Barrymore show I saw they were on recently. They do it. They do it up big. So I think that's a great indication of where Big E can go. I mean, just do the daytime talk show thing. I would watch a daytime talk show with Big E as a host. If Michael Strahan can sit on a panel with Kelly Ripa for whatever, 5, 6, 7 years, Big E can do that with somebody too. Sit him down next to Drew Barrymore and let them co-host that show and watch all the ratings go straight to the top. Anyway, that's what I think about Big E and his career. What an amazing career. I hope he never wrestles again because he's too precious to lose. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. Tell your friends about this wrestling show. It's only 10 minutes. And don't you ever forget.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.